Good afternoon, everybody. Myself, Acharya Vishvendra, and today I am going to discuss a worksheet on the neural patterns which are used for cracking competitive exams like JEE and NEET. So, let's begin with the worksheet. So, here is the worksheet on the neural patterns, and the neural patterns are secrets to success in JEE and NEET. So, to understand this, first of all, we should understand that why exams are conducted. So exams are conducted to test mind-brain algorithm of a particular student. For elaborating it, let's take an example. Suppose you are being given a question that there is a disk and a force is applied on the disk at a height of 2 centimeter from the center, and we need to find acceleration of center of mass, angular acceleration, and friction if the disk is undergoing pure rolling. So how students proceed is, number one solution is using the traditional method. Then how a student will proceed. So first of all, he will write the first equation, that net force is mass into acceleration of center of mass. Then he will write equation of torque about the center, that net torque is equal to I alpha. Third is condition of pure rolling, which is ACM is equal to R alpha. And when all these equations are solved, we come to the conclusion that ACM is equal to F by M, 1 plus H by R, 1 plus K square by R square. And friction is F, H by R minus K square by R square upon 1 plus K square by R square. And then ACM is equal to R alpha. Using all this, we come to the three critical steps 7, 8 and 9, which are given over here. So this is the solution as a normal student will undergo when he solve the question for the very first time. So here there is no use of pattern. It's a simple algorithm, the simplest algorithm of using information process and using them to conclude the result. Now pattern use the direct information. So acceleration is F by M, 1 plus H by R, 1 plus K square by R square. You substitute the values of H and R, acceleration comes out to be F by M, friction comes out to be 0, and alpha comes out to be F by 4M. So you see that using pattern, first of all, your speed increases, time decreases, and there is less complexity involved, there is less calculation involved. So the student who use the pattern, who has learned to use the pattern, will perform better in competitive exam. So that is how neural patterns are important, and they are a secret to success in competitive exams. Because more information you process, more energy you consume. More energy you consume, more is the chance of confusion, and there is a chance that you will perform, you will not be able to perform optimally. Because ultimately, when you are solving a problem, there is our stress involved, anxiety, depression, there are negative vibes involved, and ultimately we have to deal with these emotional conflicts also. So to avoid these emotional conflicts, you need to use a certain pattern which is used by most of the clever students. So what they just do is that they just decode the pattern of the topics which you are studying. So let me to elaborate that. Suppose there are 28 chapters in physics. So in each chapter there are about 20 patterns. So a total of 560 patterns are there that complete your physics for JEE NEET both. Now the sharp students or the clever students, what they do is that they just study just to decode those patterns. They just study to decode those 20 patterns per chapter, and they practice only on those neural patterns. So suppose a clever student is solving a question, so he will use the pattern again, and again, and he will, uh, you know, get adapted to retaining the neural pattern. So what happens is, when we learn something, there is a neural pattern developed in the brain, and that neural pattern gets transferred to the mind. And when we again solve that question after a long time, then there is a retention of the neural pattern from mind to the brain. And that retention process is the key to success in competitive exams. You must have seen that when somebody asks you a question, then the first reaction of the mind is a flight mode activation. You feel anxiety, depression, low vibrations, and you will try to escape from answering the question. Because to answer a particular question, you need to, uh, you can say that you need to work on a particular frequency, you need to retain a certain pattern, you need to rack your brain for that, and it's a very stressful process. So most of the students are unable to bear the brunt of that stressful process, so they just give up. So here is the key to success, that you just practice in terms of the neural patterns. So if you practice retaining the neural patterns again and again and again, then after some time you become adaptive. And once that neural pattern is fit into your automatic memory, then you'll be able to recall that as and when needed. But to bring you to that state of mind, you need to practice again, again, and again. So that is a simple concept of neural pattern. Let's study some more thing about this. So one thing is clear, that exam is about the neural patterns. Now, if we analyze the studies at what we do, so when a student starts studying, there is a source of information that may be a book, a teacher, a YouTube video, or anything. Then there is a transfer of information from the source of information to the mind brain system of the student. It induces thoughts, emotions, and energy in the students. And using these, we have to form a neural pattern. And during that neural pattern, there is a transfer of neural patterns to the mind. And when we answer a particular question, is a retention of the neural pattern, and then processing of the neural pattern, and then finally we get the output. Just take the example, suppose this is a student. So he has got, one thing is the brain and one thing is the mind. So when student is receiving information, let's say from some teacher, then there is a neural pattern formed in the brain of the student, and that neural pattern gets transferred to the conscious, subconscious, unconscious mind. But when he retain that, when he appear for the exam, then there is a retention process, and this retention process is the key to success. So if we connect source to the output, there is a pattern which is need to be followed, and this pattern can be developed by using OST. I have designed this program. It's a 21 days mind training program to help you fetch out the patterns from the source of information and to use them in cracking the competitive exams. So regarding OST, there is my book. It is available on Amazon, Flipkart, and Notion Press with the same name, OST by Acharya Vishvendra. You can search it on, and there are YouTube videos also on my channel. You can search OST by Acharya Vishvendra on YouTube, and you can get access to the OST program. So basically, the OST program is about making students learn the process of developing neural patterns and their transfer to the mind, and the retention when you solve a particular question. As you must have seen that in this particular question, it can be solved within 30 seconds using this neural pattern. Whereas if you solve it manually using simple algorithms, then many steps are involved, and there are chances that you will ultimately lose out in between. So using pattern is a key to excel, to improve your ranks, to improve your performance, to optimize your time and energy. So the neural patterns are just a key to optimize your time and energy, to have to achieve good in your competitive exams. Thank you and have a nice day.